Hi there, I'm Preya Chauhan, founder of Cherish Healing, and today I've got Neil Pinnock here that we're interviewing as part of the series called Cherish Healers. I'm going to hand it over to Neil just to introduce himself and tell us 4 things about yourself, if that's possible, please.
Yeah, currently I'm working as a 5Rhythms teacher. It's one of the things I do. I trained with Gabrielle Roth back in 2008. I'm also trained as a drama therapist. I'm not working as a drama therapist at the moment. Originally I was a photographer and I trained in many creative things really throughout the years. I've travelled a lot and I'm a bit of a nomad, and I think that's my dancing feet in action really.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
The reason I really wanted to interview you today, Neil, was to do with your practice of 5Rhythms, and you trained with the phenomenal Gabrielle Roth, which I think must have been mind-blowing. Can you tell us a little bit about how you got into it and what was your initial inspiration for the work you kind of got involved with 5Rhythms, and what is 5Rhythms as well?
Yeah. Well, 5Rhythms is, on the surface, it's a dance practice, but underneath it's also a philosophy of life. It's a way of looking at how creative patterns and vibrational patterns move through people and through creative cycles, really, in different ways. So how did I first get into it? It was through the dance, and I was in India, and I was at the Osho Centre in Pune, and I was doing a lot of meditating and I was doing a lot of dancing. And I had my first sort of ecstatic experience, which wasn't down to any drugs or anything. It was purely natural, and that woke me to the fact that there was definitely something in an embodied practice of freedom and expression that I wanted to pursue.
Can you tell me more about this ecstatic experience and what you mean by embodiment?
Yeah, for me it was, I was in a room and there was a lot of people, hundreds of people dancing, and because of the meditation, it wasn't quite an out-of-body experience, but it was like my higher self was looking down and saw my body dancing around, and it sort of nudged me on the shoulder and said, look at you, you're a dancer. And I was like, me? I'm a dancer? What are you on about? And then I'm like, yeah, I am. I was jumping and rolling across the floor, and then I was back into the dance, and it was like, I was given insight really in that moment, and from the bliss of the dance to have a perspective that was also like a bit of a gift really, just really making me notice and take stock of that moment and where I'd come to.
Brilliant, especially, I know a bit about your background. You've done everything, like you said, from photography, but from removals, so that must have been quite literally a leap. Okay, 5Rhythms practice as part of that journey, and 5Rhythms obviously goes on, it's over 35 years plus in its making and development, and it's literally a worldwide phenomenon.
Absolutely.
In your personal experience, what has been the greatest achievement or success that you've experienced as a 5Rhythms teacher?
It's often just the little things. I taught at a festival, Lunar Festival this year, and there was a woman who came to dance there, and she was in tears by the end of the class, and she was just like, you have given me so much permission to have freedom in my life, in that moment, and it was like, it was a life-changing moment for her. She sent me an email, and a couple of months later, she lives in Manchester, she came to a class in Manchester, and she's like, people do have quite transformational moments on the dance floor. I've had mine along the way, and when you're holding space and encouraging people to become self-aware and to allow freedom to be part of the expression of who they really are, then that's a great gift, I think, to be able to offer people.
Brilliant. So for people that don't know 5Rhythms, it's not like any other dance experience, because you are, like you said, given permission to dance in a way that your body feels like moving. Could you tell us more about how a class might, if someone was completely new to 5Rhythms, what they might experience in a class?
in some ways it is similar to some other dance and movement practices in that way, gaining freedom and inhibition and just allowing the energy that's in you to find its way forwards. But at the same time, Gabrielle mapped out some really fundamental pieces of the human jigsaw, if you like. So, her first set of maps we call the wave, and that's what we normally dance in a 5 rhythm session, and that would be moving in different fundamental ways through the rhythms of flowing, staccato, chaos, lyrical and stillness. So it's an energetic momentum which not only takes us forwards physically, but also, affects us on a much more metaphysical or psychological level as well. So it's like everything gets stirred up. And in that process, we also get put back together again in a way that was slightly different than the beginning. I don't want to make it sound too mystical, but people turn up and dance and they love it. Yeah, that's the first level, but there's so much more to what's going on under the surface, and it can be, quite a life-changing phenomenon for people.
So when they move through the dance, it's almost like they get insights about themselves through the experience.
Yeah. Gabrielle says, move the body and the psyche will heal itself. We hold on to a lot of our emotions. Our mind is a structure which is very contained a lot of the time, and the dance allows us to tune in, to express and to release, and in that process realise we're more than we thought we were in the beginning.
Brilliant. Great. So we've spoken about, the achievement of actually helping be part of someone's life-changing transformation. As a practitioner as well, I can imagine there's been some challenges or some frustrations. Would you be able to share any that you've had along the way and maybe how you've overcome them?
I think in my own personal practice, there was a lot of emotional release and emotional growth for me as a person, and that has been quite profound. Where it's taken me, and as a teacher, I think some of the challenges I have are, just how to make it work financially. To turn up every week, and you've only got 2 or 3 students who are coming in, and often the mind gets in the way, and learning to just trust that what's happening is happening, and to still keep empowering myself to offer the work and keep moving forwards as it develops. And not to get caught up with just what might be happening in one class,
Kind of bigger picture, zooming out.
Yeah, definitely. A sense of momentum that is moving forwards.
Okay. For people that have been, say, touched by the experience of 5 rhythms or dance, and those seeking a career in this particular area, what advice might you give to a new person coming in, thinking about setting up as perhaps a 5 rhythms or just a dance teacher in itself?
For me, it doesn't matter whether it be dance or whatever it might be. It's about finding your passion. I don't think, for myself, I spent many years just doing things along the way until that dance experience for me was that moment where the light bulb went on, and I went, this is important. And I had that experience, and then when I found some 5 rhythms classes, it was like, I found my place. This is the work I want to do. So for me, it's about find your passion, whatever it is, and follow it. That's the most important thing. There's too many people in this world spending their time, their life's energy, doing things they don't really enjoy just for the sake of money. And I think, society's changing, and we can adapt and change and support each other to really do the things that are meaningful in this world.
Have you got any ideas, maybe one suggestion that someone out there who's perhaps unhappy with where they're at with their work or home life, and that there's a bit of seeking but they're just not sure? What might you recommend? Sometimes
we've got to take that leap of faith to let go, even if we don't know if it's going to work, to give it the best that we can. But that's a matter of timing as well, and I wouldn't recommend anybody just to drop everything but you've got to follow what you really love.
What one change do you hope your work will achieve in society?
One of the things I'm doing with my work is to build community and bring people together.
How do you cherish or heal yourself, Neil?
It's very important, actually. I give myself permission, and I've been rubbing up against that recently. It's like days when I feel tired, And I'm like, oh, I should be doing this and I should be doing that. I've really been giving myself permission not to. You know, it's like, have a day off, take some space. And for me, it's also important, you know, to go and turn up and dance at classes, but also to have massage and body work and to have some stillness time. You know, what are those things that nurture you and what makes you feel positive, and realise, you know, you need to plug in as well and share this information and our journey. I think that's important.
Yeah, making time for those things that kind of top you back up again. But brilliant. Well, that's brilliant. Thank you so much, Neil. And hopefully this particular interview will provide some kind of insight or ideas or inspiration for people out there who are looking and connecting to dance and wanting to connect to dance. And in fact, I'll put information about the work that Neil does below, including an example of 5Rhythms danced on a beach. I saw that clip and it was great. So we'll share that with people out there. Thank you again so much. Also,
you know, not just my classes, there's many 5Rhythms teachers, so wherever you live in the world, there's somewhere not that far away you can go and do the work, which, you know, look at 5rhythmsglobal.com, you'll find out your local teachers there.
Brilliant, thank you so much.